Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new match review here on the channel. My name is James and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's 2-0 win over Bristol Rovers. That's right, the Royals defeated Bristol Rovers at their stadium for the second consecutive year by 2-0. Last year, Reading confirmed their survival in League One with the win away, whereas this year we were looking for much more. Reading are in for a playoff spot this season, and with a victory and Wycombe denying a victory for Leyton Orient, the Royals could have climbed into 6th position, but unfortunately, the Wanderers didn't do their end of the bargain. That's right, Leyton Orient confirmed their 5th win in a row as they defeated Wycombe Wanderers by 1-0. And look, I'm not going to sit here and be salty about anything because if any team deserves that 6th spot bar Reading, it's Leyton Orient. And it will go down to the final day of the season as Reading will play Barnsley at home and Reading are once again relying on others to do them a favour. This time it's Huddersfield Town who Reading will be relying on as Leyton Orient travel away to Yorkshire. Now, in terms of this fixture, though, this is the one that we're here to talk about, and Reading won by 2-0. Now, the starting 11 that Noel Hunt went with today was Joel Pereira in goal as always. Tavonge Rashisha and Andre Garcia were the two fullbacks, with Amadou Mbenge and Tyler Bindon as the centre-backs. The midfield three was unchanged as always, as we saw Lewis Wing, Harvey Nibbs and Charlie Savage play as a trio. Out wide, we saw Kelvin Ehibachiman and we saw Campbell, while up front was Jaden Wareham. It was unchanged for the Royals after the 5-1 victory against Mansfield on Monday, and Reading got off to a really good start. Harvey Nibbs actually hit the post in the first minute of the fixture. It came when Lewis Wing won the ball high up in the pitch. Kelvin Ehibachiman played a cross into the box and Harvey Nibbs had a shot, but it was well saved by Jed Ward, but eventually hit the post. After that, for the first half, Bristol Rovers were actually the better of the two sides and made Joel Pereira make a few decent saves. Royal Sotieru was a thorn in the Royals' back four as he ended up having a couple of opportunities. One of them in particular came in the 20th minute with a shot from just outside the box, which again was really good save by Joel Pereira. But the best opportunity of the half for Rovers came in the 36th minute. It came when Adonka had a shot from inside the box. I don't know whether it was a corner or a free kick that came in, but either way, Reading failed to clear the ball and Bristol Rovers kept getting their head onto it, and Adonka had the shot and ran away in celebration thinking he'd already scored, but El Gato was in goal and he managed to make a really good stop. For the rest of the half, like we said, Bristol Rovers were the better side and Reading were really holding on for the majority of that first half. It was a real poor performance, if I'm honest. And look, Reading tends to always perform a little bit worse against the worse teams, whereas always perform good against the better teams. And obviously this was continuing to be the case in this fixture, with Bristol Rovers being threatened with relegation. Now, the second half saw a similar pattern. Reading had a few chances here and there. Andre Garcia had a shot from long range, which was saved by the shoulder of Jed Ward. And Bristol Rovers had a couple of opportunities as well. One in particular came in the 62nd minute when James Wilson rose highest from a corner. He headed the ball and once again Joel Pereira made a really good save. Luckily it paid off for Reading as just 5 minutes later Lewis Wing had the ball in the back of the net, scoring for the second consecutive fixture. It was a really good move from Reading down the left hand side, which saw Charlie Savage play Lewis Wing in. Lewis Wing took the shot, it went underneath the goalkeeper and Reading were 1-0 up. We were in dreamland. I was running around my living room like crazy. My little boy was going mad with me. But unfortunately, as I sat down, Leyton Orient scored and it was 1-0 to the O's. Now, after that, Reading did have a couple more opportunities. In the 70th minute, Andre Garcia had a really nice run down the left-hand side and forced Jed Ward to make a good save. And Reading eventually got their second goal. It came in the 93rd minute. And Campbell, with a really nice finish on the left-hand side, snuck the ball underneath Jed Ward and, yeah, scored himself another goal for this season. The man on loan from Wolves hasn't been the best of players, if we're being completely honest, for the entire campaign. But Campbell does come up with moments here and there. And we've got to say fair play to him for his goal today. Now, in terms of key performers for Reading today, I thought Mbenge and Bindon had decent games. I also thought Tavonge Rashisha did really well at right back once again. Up front, Jaden Wareham was winning headers for fun all game, and unfortunately, Kelvin Ehibachiman couldn't really do too much with them. But like we said, the win now sees Reading continue to stay in 7th spot, and it will go down to the final day as Leyton Orient travel to Huddersfield and Reading will host Barnsley. If Reading want to overturn the goal deficit, I think it's 8 goals that Reading have got to score to overturn it. So look, maybe an 8-0 win for Reading and a 1-0 win for Leyton Orient, or even if it is 8 goals, I think Reading would have to score 9 and Leyton Orient only score 1. So look, either way, we're hoping that something can happen. We're praying on a miracle, but Either way, it's been a really good season for the Royals. At the start of the year, I predicted them just to miss out. But if you would have told me now that Reading are just going to miss out due to the final day, I'm not taking it. I still believe, and yeah, fingers crossed, Huddersfield can do Reading a favour for that playoff final all them years ago. That's going to be it for this one today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll see you all again very soon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.